I greet you in the tradition of our brotherhood, which is ancient, heart, head, and hand. Selah. You have spoken of sound this night. You use sound constantly. And may I add that you are sound as well, for it is very much part of the divine identity. What would be a universe without sound? Yet I tell you they exist. You hear my voice, but do you really hear my voice? I ask you now to go beyond the hearing of the eardrum and listen to my voice. It is true, I currently employ this one to speak out my words of conveyance to you. But in truth, my voice is far beyond the audible range. My voice encompasses as a wave. So listen then, not with ears alone, but with that hearing that comes of the soul. It is time to go beyond the limits of 5 physical senses. I would have you then, with your physical eyes closed, look at me. Put your attention upon me. Look at me. You may all see me if you will. I cast an image. It is for this purpose that this kind woman has brought you these pictures this evening, that you might look upon me. I choose to step out from behind the veil. Your physical eyes do not convey me as your inner sight must. If I choose to be vague, that is one thing. But I make no choice at all in this matter. I leave it to you. You may see me as you will. I encourage, obviously, the use of your deeper sense of sight, that which transcends this room. You hear me, and what you hear is but a slight amount of the sound current that I am indeed generating. But when I speak, I am. All of me goes forth. I am that I am. Would you feel me as well? You may do so. I give you permission. And so feel me as one would feel the atmosphere in a room, as one senses presence at the séance. Oh, my beloved ones, you all will come to use those senses in increasing frequencies. And that is a prophecy of truth. Sound goes forth as light does, and it does not end. It does not end. It transcends time as you know it. For you see, my dears, what you are experiencing, these wondrous meetings of ours, I want you to know was foreseen well into the past. And I want you to know another thing, and it is that the words you appear to be hearing, I have spoken in the past as you would know it. Indeed, this whole presence that you sense, that I have invited you to feel, is not only vibrating what you appear to think is now, but was projected, if you are speaking in linear time, in and from the past. I had foreseen your need of old. I had foreseen the need in general, and rushed to fill the vacuum. You shall do the same, I say. You shall come to see those things in your society that need to be corrected, and you will learn to sit and correct them. One thought is all that is necessary. Then you allow nature to take her course. Contemplate, if you will, this thing I have said, that though I am here, I am simultaneously in your linear past, speaking these words from then to now. The mystery that lies therein is yours to unravel. But you see, it is so much better to unravel one's own gift than to have it unraveled for you. Now, isn't it? My dear, dear hearts and souls, there are two things I would have you grasp. My form, if you will, that which you are most comfortable in your belief, that it generates through and out of this one, that it might give you a focal point to which to relate. And my formlessness, which is not and will not be contained in any one slice of what you call time. I am endless as ye are endless. I am timeless as ye are timeless, as is the Lord God. Ra. In days long past, we would dance in circles, spinning as tops, that our auras might become better reflections of ourselves. I would bid you to do likewise. You have heard of those that spin, the dervishes of the East. They spin for a purpose, for in the spinning is a breaking free of what appears to be their reality, a voluntary entering into a dimension of their own making. You can do the same. Begin slowly and proceed as often as you like. Having a place nearby that you can retire to quickly when the dizziness seems to overtake you. As we began, I spoke of gold. I speak of it again. Some may think, but this master is preoccupied with the stuff. Indeed, I see it perhaps as others do not see it. For is it not true that unto each of us is given a precinct? I tell you, gold holds a very, very pure place in the molecular makeup of this planet. And when I have spoken of gold and your acquisition of the same, I spoke no idle fancies. But again I would say, won't you please draw gold? Think of it when you can. See it in your possession, not only in the form of jewelry, but in other forms as well. For, you see, as we progress up the steeps of history, the gold must be redistributed. And I would have you, my dear, dear ones, some of the first in line. When it is the will of that great divine director, and it will take but one thought from him, that the gold be redistributed, it would begin to move immediately, almost of its own accord, seeking its way to hearts of gold, seeking to leave the cold confines in which it has been kept a prisoner by those with hearts of lead. So, warm yourselves with thoughts of gold that come to you, for I tell you it contains an intrinsic power that one day you will learn to appreciate. Yes, think of gold. Help yourselves to it. I tell you that in at least 2 cases of those seated here, you shall come to own gold in bullion form. And that gold which you now possess in jewelry and trinkets is still gold, and can be contemplated for its molecular structure. I tell you, it is as a mirror, showing you something of your own. And when you are ready to look into that, you will find it is far more moldable than ever you had imagined. There is a sight residing within each one of you. That sight is summoned with eyes closed by focusing at the point between the eyebrows. If you would focus there now, you may perceive a form of inner light. Some say, no, I see nothing. I tell you, impossible. If you look now with your eyes closed, gently, gently, as one would note a butterfly that had alighted, gently. One does not rush into the hall of the Mountain King. And if you be still, and if you notice gently, you will see inner light. Soft as moon glow, yet it exists right within your cranium. It is not darkness, it is not the black, but instead a soft light. You can will it to grow and become stronger, and it shall. My words this evening shall be fewer, for what is conveyed this night is not verbal of necessity, but energetic and eternal. You must come to know, my dear ones, that you yourselves are endless. Drop, if you will, this persistent belief that one day you shall die. That is impossible. Come to see, oh won't you please, that you are endless in your beauty, that you are timeless in your scope, and that you are indeed infinite in reality. I am not speaking of worldly concepts of the same. I am speaking of absolute truth. For I see here several of you who have given this very little thought. Consider it, for it opens doors unto you inwardly that can be opened in no other way. When beloved Jesus did visit us, that he might partake of Egyptian training, it had to do with this very point of his endlessness, and he had to be convinced of it, as you must. For only then will you have the courage and the conviction to live the life of an immortal. When you consider yourselves mortals, it approaches blasphemy. Give thought then, please, to the fact that you have been given the most precious gift of all, and that is life that shall never, ever be snuffed out. I tell you, there is not one here that I can see who has given their endlessness thought beyond 5 centuries into the future. That is a puny amount of time. Look beyond it. Look well beyond it, my dear ones. 5 centuries? You're still counting on calendars. What comes after that? I tell you, it is the dissolution of worlds. This planet shall disintegrate in thought, not too far away, and may I say, in less time than you think. You have put and assigned a greater amount of infinity upon this planet than you have upon yourself. How can that be? When the planet is form and you are formless. All form must mutate, for it evolves. But you, precious, precious you, shall never die, nor disintegrate. Of that I would have you convinced. Please give it thought. Your assignment, if you will. Give thought, serious, serious thought, to your endlessness, please. May I say, if you do, you will make my job a little easier. I bring the discourse to a close, carefully monitoring the energies. For too much at times is not wise. Moderation, I believe it has been said in all things, seems yet to be the best policy. I withdraw.